So welcome to the data science programming class. And today I'm going to explain about Python GUI programming for part 2. But before we discuss about the Python programming GUI for part 2, I'm going to review the exercise for last week. So this is the last exercise that you need to finish. You create a simple GUI for converting the kilograms into gram, pounds, and ounce. And so this is the code for creating the GUI. We need to define the function or method for converting the kilogram to gram, pound, and ounce. As you can see here, we need to call the tk into the tk for creating a main form, and we name it as a top. Then so this is the code for converting the gram, pound, and ounce. So we get the values from each value. So actually we have some widget here. The E1 is a label, yeah, label. So this is the E1, and as you can see here, enter the weight in kilogram. So this is the label for these labels. For the each values it's a variable. It's a variable for the values from the user. So after we put the values into this text box, then it will be input to the each value, right? But this text box is a entry widget. So the E2 represent this text box. Then after the user put the values here, it will be on the E2 values variable, right? Then as you can see here, we also have E2, E3, E4, and E5 for the labels gram, pound, and ounce. And we also have the T1, T2, and T3. T3, it means the values, yeah, for these labels. By default, the values for this label will be dash dash, right? Then for the P1, it is a button for converting the values into gram, on, and pounds, yeah. Then after the user click the P1 button, it will call the from underscore key command. Yeah, it will be called after the user press the P1 button. Okay, so this is the code for placing every widget into our form. And in this case, we use the create function. So we have a 3 rows and also 2 columns. Sorry, 3 rows and 3 columns. It means we have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and also 3 columns, 1, 2, and 3. So this one is for the first column, second column, and third column. And this is the first rows, second rows, and third rows. So it will be easier for us if we use the create function, because we place the widget in table order. Okay, so as you can see here, so this is the rows and the columns, yeah, the cells for every widget that we have. Then we call the top the main loop. As you can see here, after the user press the P1 button, it will call the from underscore key function. As you can see, this is the code for converting the kilogram to gram, pound, and ounce. Yeah, so it will multiply by 1000 for gram, and multiply 2.2 something for the pound, and 35.274 for the ounce, right? So after that, we put the result into T1, T2, and T3, right? T1, T2, and T3 labels. Okay, so that's all for how to create a very simple UI for converting the kilogram to gram, pound, and ounce. Okay, so the next one is for advanced widget. So what is advanced widget? So here, first thing that we need to discuss for this course is top level widget. So it means we have two UI, the main UI and top level UI. So after we click this button, it will appears this form. So this form will appear. So this is a top level window because it is placed on the main form, right? So after we click this button, so it will appears. So this form will appears. So how to create this UI like this. Okay, we can directly implement into Spider. So let me share my Spider here. Okay, so yeah, first thing that we need to do, we import the TK input. Import TK input. Then we create main form. So we name it as a root. So root represent the main form, right? So the root represent the main form. So this is the root. And this is the root form, and this is the top form. So first thing that we need to do, we create the root form first, the main form first. And in this case, we put this form into root variable. Okay. Okay. So after that, we call the tk inter the tk inter the tk, because this is a UI, right? So we need to call the tk inter the tk, and we set the geometry for this UI. So it means the size of this form, right? So we can call the geometry for setting the size of this form. And in this case, we put the size for this form as 200 pixel times 300 pixel, right? And we keep the title for this UI as a main, because this is the main form, main. Okay. So we need to try it first. Go to main loop. Okay. So let me run this code first. Okay. Wait. Okay. After I run this code, so we will have main form. So the size for this form is 200 times 300 pixel. So yeah, we can continue the code here. So we already create the main form. Then we create a function for calling the top form, or the second form. So I define the top window. It means the top form. Yeah, top window, the second form. So in this case, I will create a top variable equal tk inter to tk second form. Then we set the geometry for this form as 180 pixel times 100. Right. Okay, so the size for this top window will be 180 times 100. Okay, so we give the title for this form as top level, top level. Then we call it L2. Okay, L2, it means the labels inside the top form. Okay, so for the L2 here, I will call the tk inter dot label, because this is the label, and I will place this label into top form, and I give the text for this label as this is a top level window. Okay, this is top level window. Okay, then after that, I call the pack function for placing this L2 label into the top form, and the last one I will call the log top the main loop. Okay, then after we already create a top window function here, the next steps, we create a button b1. So the b1 is inside the root form. So the b1 equal to k inter dot button. right? Then we place this button into root function here. So into root form, I mean. Then for the text, yeah, for the text for this button, I will give the text as click here, right? So the text equal click here, click here. Then I also give the comment argument. Comment equal top window, because when I press this button, it will call this function, right? This function. Okay. So I also place this button inside the root UI. So I need to call the pack function v1.pack. Okay. So we need to run this code. Okay. Run this code. Okay. So when I press this click here button, so the top level window will be appear soon. Right. So this is how to create a top level widget. We create a two form, the main form and top level form. So this is the code how to create it. Okay, so the next one is text widget. Text widget is used where a user wants to insert multi-line text fields. This widget can be used for a variety of applications where the multi-line text is required, such as messaging, sending information, or displaying information, and many other tasks. So as you can see, this is the text widget. Yeah, it can receive the inputs from the user in multi-line form. Then in this example, when the user press the submit button, so it will print in this label. So how to create this UI? So we can just go to our spider here. Okay, so we need to comment our previous code. Okay, so I import the tk enter, then I create a function, and we name the function as getFile. GetFile, it means it will be used for getting the values from the text widget. Okay, then we create a txt variable here, c1 equal dot get 1.0 and slash /1c. Okay, I will explain it later. Then l1.config txt text equal txt. Okay, I will explain it in a second. Okay, then we create a t1 variable here. T1 will be used for text widget. Okay, take it into text, then we place it into root form here. So as you can see, this is our root form. So we need to uncomment it. Then yeah, we don't need to comment this line. Okay. Okay. So okay, so after we create a T1 here, then we place it using T1 packs, T1.pack function. Then we also use a P1. P1 is a button here. tk enter dot button, and we place it into root form, and we give the height for this button to 5 and width equal 52. Okay, then sorry, so this one is for this one is for C1. Okay, and for the button, we give the text as submit, and for the comment here equal getFile. So if the button P1 is pressed by the user, it will call the getFile function here. Okay, and p1.tag. Okay, and the last one is the label L1 equal t k insert dot label. We place it into root form here. Then for the text, we give it into minus minus because by default it will be show the minus minus character and L1.tag here. Okay, so this is how to create a text widget. So this one txt equal c1.get 1.0 comma n1c, it will be used for getting the values or the string from the text widget. We use it for getting the values or the string values from the text widget. So how to use why we should use this parameter. So this parameter represent that we will get only a string from the T1 text widget. So it means because the T1 is a multiple line, right? And when we get these values, when we get the string values in multi-line form, we will convert it into single line. So that's why we use the 1.0 and minus 1c. So this is for converting the multi-line into single line string values. Okay. So this one I will cut this code here because this is the root for the main form here. So I think we don't need to use this one. I will comment this code. Okay, so this is the form. Hello, I learn DK inter, for example here. I learn DK inter. If I press the submit button, so it will be printed into this labels, right? I learn it again. Learn it again. Okay, so this is how we use the text widget. Okay. Okay, we go back to the next slide. Okay, so the next one is as open file. While working with GUI, one may need to open files and read data from it. One can achieve this with the help of as open file function. So if we want to open the files such as the txt file from our directory, so we can use the as open file function. Okay, we can just try it directly from Spider. Okay, this is the UI for choosing the files. So choosing the files from our directory. For example, this one hello world.txt. If the user open these files, then it will print into these labels. It will be printed into these labels. Okay, so we can just try it directly from our Spider. Okay. Okay, so I need to comment this code first. Okay, comment this previous code. So we only have the root form here. Okay, then to use the as open file function, we need to import from the tk inter dot file dialog, import as open file. Okay, then we define a function here, def open file. We create a variable file equal as open file. We call the as open file library here. Then we call the argument. We put the mode argument equal read r. It means we will read the files. Then file types. We limit the types of the file that we can open here. Okay, so we only open the txt files. So in this case, we call only the text files, yeah, with the extension only .txt. So all files with the txt extension will be visible when we open the file dialogs. Okay, so this is and the text files, and the second one is the txt. The second argument in this tuple is the txt, the name of the file extension here. Okay, then so the next one, if file is not known, so it means if there is a file that we choose here, we will go to this if statement, content equal file read. Okay, content equal file read, then l1.config text equal content. So L1 labels will be show the string values inside these files. Okay. Okay, so next one, we create a button. Yes. tgn equal tk inter dot button. We place it into root of UI, root form, and for the text here, we give the labels as choose file for the button, choose file here. Then for the comment, equal open file, open file. Okay, comment for if the button is pressed by the user. Okay, then don't forget to call the pack function, tgn the pack. Okay, then for the L1, because we have not create a labels in our form, so I will call the L1 here equal tk info dot button, sorry, tk info labels. Then we place it into root main root form here, and we give the text equal minus by default. Okay, and don't forget to call the L1. Okay, already finished our code here. Then we need to run our code. Okay, wait, this is the result. So I will choose the files from my directory. Okay, okay, there is an error here. Let me read the error message. Oh, so this is the error. I forgot to give the E letter here. File types, not file types. Yeah, file types. This is the typo from me. Sorry. We run it again. Okay, we run it again. So we choose the file from our directory. Okay. So this is the directory from my computer. Okay. So I put from the download directory, from my download directory here. Okay, let me find my txt files from my downloads directory here. So this is the file that we have. Okay, the hello world.txt, it contains my name is Python inside these files. Then we can just open it. Then as you can see, we can show the string values inside our files, right? Hello, my name is Python. Okay. Okay, my name is Python, not hello. There is no hello. Okay, so this is how to read the files from our directory by using the tk into. Okay, so the next one is, yeah, also open files, then as save as files. So the previous one is for reading the files, and the second one here is for writing the files. While working with files, one may need to save file. As save files is the function which is used to save users files. As you can see, this is the UI for saving the files. Yeah, this text will be saved. So this is the text that is printed by using the labels. We define these string values from our labels. Then if we press the save button, it will save the files which contains the string values into our directory. Okay, so as you can see, this is the code how to save the files. Yeah. Okay, we can just try directly into our spider here. Okay. Okay. So we need to comment our previous code. Okay. Then we need to import some library here from tkinter.file dialog. Yeah, similar with our previous code, but we need to import the as save file. Okay, then we define a save function. Okay. Okay, before we define the save function here, I will create some widgets here. We create a btn widget. Okay, I think we can just copy from our previous code. Okay, but we change the text values here. Just file, we change it into save. Okay, and for the command, we change it into save. Okay, okay, and then we also need to define a label here. So the label will be print the string values into our form. So on the label, we can see the values we can enter to this text. This text will be saved, okay, to files. Okay, we already defined two widgets here, and now we work on our save function. For the ext, we define ext variable here. Ext, it means the extension, the file extension after we save that files. Okay, we use the same file types here. Okay, I will copy from our previous code here. Text files and with the extension txt. Okay. Okay, the same extension with our previous code. And for the file here, we call the as save file, not as open file, but as save files. And for the file types, as a first argument, file types equal ext. So we will save the files into text files. And for the default extension, we also use the same ext, same variable ext here, the extension. File types ext and also default extension equal ext. Then the next one, we get our f variable here, f equal open file.name write, because we want to write the file, so we use the w letter here. F.write equal l1.cget, so it means it will get the values, the string values from the l1. l1.cget, and we get the text from there. l1.cget f.write, this is not is equal, but f.write using the round bracket here, then f.close. Okay, I think we already finished our code. Then we run our code here. Okay. Okay, there is some error here. Cannot import name as save files. As save as file. Sorry, save as file. Okay. Typo. Okay, so this is the. Okay, so as you can see, this text will be saved. If I press this save button, it will save our labels into our directory. So we will give the names, file names as test. I will save it into my download directory. Okay, I already saved it. Then I need to open my download directory, and the test.txt, I open it. Yeah, we finish our writing and the string into our files, right? This text will be saved. Okay, that's how to open and save the files into our directory. Okay, the next one is menu widget. Menus are in the important part of any GUI. A common use of menus is to provide convenient access to various operations, such as saving or opening a file, creating a program, or manipulating the data. Okay, let's skip about the code. We see the UI first. So this is the menu from our form. Yeah. So we have file and edit here. Then if we press the file menu, then it will show us submenus such as new file, open, save, and exit. And also in edit menus, we will see the submenus from there. Okay. Okay, let's create a menu into our form. We can just go to our Spider IDE here. So, okay, so the first thing that we need to do, we comment our previous code. Okay, I will comment my previous code here. Okay, then we will create a form with contain two menus, right? File and edit menus. Then we will give the title into our form here. So the title is menu demonstration, for example. Menu demonstration. Then we create a menu bar variable equal tkinter dot menu. Then we place it into root UI. Okay, so this is the menu bar that we need to place into our UI form, root form. Then after we create the menu bar here, we will create a file variable here. So file variable is the menu bar. So we will call the tk interface here dot menu. Okay, so we will place the menu sorry, so this is the menu bar, which is the main menu. Then we have a files menus. So this is the sub menus, I mean file and edit, right? So the file is sub menus. We create a files variable here. It represent the sub menus from the menu bar. Okay, so it will call the menu function similar with our previous code here, but we place these files into menu bar because this is a menu from menu bar. Okay, so we give a check out parameter equal 0 here. Okay, we will set the default values from the for the check out. Then the next one we call the menu bar dot add cascade. Okay, then we give the label cascade label equal file. Then menu equal file. Okay, then the next one we call the file dot add comment, and we give the label for the first menu in file menus is new file. Okay, so this is the submenus, right? The submenus, and the submenus will contain the first submenus, which has the label equal new file. Okay, let me go back to our slide. So we have a file and new file, right? So the first menu is a file. The first submenu is files. Then inside the file, we have new file, open and save, and also the exit menus. Okay, let's go back to our spider here. So we have file, yeah. Then new file here, okay. And for the comment here, because we have not create any comment, then for the comment for this file, new file will be none. Okay, we can set it later if we have already a comment function. Okay. Let me just copy this code, then we give another submenus, new file, then open file, for example, new file, open, then save, and we also be able to give a separator. a separator here. So file add separator, because we know that after or before the exit menu here we give a separator. Then we can add separator here, call the add separator function. Then the last one is for the exit submenu, exit. Okay. Then for if we press the exit button, so actually the command we can just call the root.destroy. So it means we will exit from this root menu. Okay, it will destroy the UI for the root menu. Okay. Okay, so this is the first submenu, which is the file submenu. We also have another submenu here. So the second submenu is edit submenu. So we create an edit variable here, edit equal tk enter dot menu. And then we place it into menu bar, and we give the same parameter for the of equal zeros. Okay, and then we can just copy from our previous code here, and we can just replace the file with the edit here. Then this is the edit menu, so I give the edit labels here. Okay, just copy this code to the next three line of code here, edit, then cut, okay, p, okay, and also paste. Okay, so this is not add comment, but actually this is the add cascade, right? The first submenu will be add cascade, right? Like this one. Okay, so this is okay, so this is the menu equal edit, right? Because we have the second submenu as edit. Okay, so the next one is we will call the root dot config. We call the config function from our root UI. Then we give the parameter menu equal menu bar. So it will place the menu bar into our root UI. Okay, we just execute this code. Okay, add cascade. Add cascade. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot run this code into my computer because I think the problem is because I am using the Mac OS. So we cannot give the menu bar into my form. So if you use the Windows operating system, I think that there will not be a problem. Okay, there will not be a problem. So because I use the Mac OS and I already searching on the internet that the problem is because the Mac OS, so I cannot run the menu bar command here. Okay, but if you use the Windows operating system, I think there will not be a problem. So you can just continue your code on your Windows operating system. Okay, as you can see here, that's why in this slide I use the Windows operating system, right? This is the form or the Windows from the Windows operating system. So that's why I cannot run this code into my operating system. And it also happened for the next slide, for the progress bar widget. I cannot run this code into my operating system, which is Mac OS. So as you can see, this is the code for creating a progress bar widget, right? Yeah, that's not a problem if you use the Windows operating system. So we can just continue the code using this code. Yeah, so we call the progress bar from the TTK library. Then we call the progress bar function. We put it into root directory. Then we give the orient argument as horizontal and so on and so on. Then don't forget to call the pack function. Then you need to define the bar function here for running the progress bar after we press the start button. As you can see, this is the command for the start button. So the P1 is the start button. If we press the start button command, the start button, then it will call the bar function here. Okay. Okay, so the next one is type widget. The TTK module serves as an improvement to the already existing TTK enter module. The notebook widget of TTK module is put into use to create a tab widget. So by using the TTK modules, it is possible if we create a tab widget. So we can put more than one page in one UI, right? So that's why we call it as a tab widget. The tab widget manages a collection of windows and displays one at a time. Each child window is associated with a tab. The user can select one tab at a time to view the content of the window. So this is the code for creating a tab widget. So as you can see on the right side in this slide, this is a tab widget. We have a two tab here, tab 1 and tab 2. If we press the tab 1, it will show us this is the first tab. We add a label here. And for the second tab here, this is the second tab, right? To create a tab widget, as you can see, this is the code for creating a tab widget. We need to import the TTK, right? Then the next one is tab control equal TTK notebook.root. So this is the how to create a tab menus. First, we need to root tab menus first. So this is tab control is the root tab in our UI. Okay. Then we place this tab control into root windows. Then we create a tab 1 and tab 2 equal ttk.frame. So this is the sub tab from the tab control. Then we place this tab 1 and tab 2 into tab control. Then after that, we call the tab control.add function and we place the tab 1 and tab 2 that we previously created. Then we give the text as a tab 1 and tab 2. Then don't forget to call the pack function. And after that, we create a labels L1 and L2, which is the L1 is the text for the tab 1. That's why we call the tk_enter.label, and for the first argument, we place the L1 into tab 1. This is the first step. And for the L2, this is the second tab, and we place it into tab 2, into tab 2 frame, right? So this is tab 1 and tab 2, the labels in tab 1 and tab 2. And the next one is canvas widget. The canvas widget lets us display various graphics on the application and can be used to draw simple shapes to complicated graphs. We can also display various kinds of custom widgets according to our needs. If you want to draw something into our UI, so it is possible if we call the canvas function here. So the canvas function is also the module in tk_inter. As you can see, we place a canvas into our root UI, then we give the background color as yellow and the height and the width is 300 and the height is 250 and the width is 300. So the canvas, the canvas which has the yellow background will have the size height equal to 250 and the width equal 300. And we can create a line or create what is it, arts, arts. It means this is the arts, the what is it called, the circle which is not full circle, right? Then we can also create a oval form here. It's like an oval, then we give the color as blue. Then don't forget to call the pack function here. And the next one is choose color dialog. So this is the example of choose color dialog. When we press some, if we choose some colors here, then it will show us the hexadecimal code, which contains the red, green, and blue color, the color pixel, and also the hexadecimal code for this color that we choose. To create the choose color dialog, we need to import the color chooser. Then we create a function choose color. So this function will be called after we press the select color button. That's why in P1, which is the select color button, we create a tk_inter button, then we place it into root UI. Then for the command here, we call the choose color function. Inside the choose color function, we have color code equal color chooser.askColor. which is this code will call this UI, right? The colors choosers UI. Then after that, we call the L1, which is the labels, the config text equal hexadecimal code. Then we give the hexadecimal code, yeah, from the color code function, the color code variable here. Sorry, color code variable. Then we, yeah, don't forget to call the pack function. And for the L1 equal tk interpret label, we place it into root UI. Then we give the text as hexadecimal code, yeah. So this is the label L1, right? After we press this button, then it will appears the UI like this. Then after we choose some areas or some colors here, then it will print the hexadecimal code and also the RGB pixel values. Another action in GUI programming, an action is not only triggered by a button, and other widgets can also be used as triggers for an action. The way to do this is almost the same as in buttons, by creating a method that contains an action and calling that method in a common parameter of a widget. For example, we will create an action on a checkbox. If the checkbox is selected, it will display a message bar. So we create a checkbox here, pizza. Then after we check this checkbox, then it will preview the message box, which contains labels. Your favorite food is pizza. Then we first that we need to do is we import the message box, yeah, like our previous discussion in last week, yeah, for the message box. Then we call we create a show function. Inside the show function, we call the message box show info favorite food. Your favorite food is blah blah blah. Then for the C1, which is the checkbox, we call the ticket enter the button. Then we place it into root UI. Then for the text is equal pizza. And of the comment, when we check this C1 check button, it will call the show function. Don't forget to call the pack function. Okay, if you have any question, you can just chat me on Google Chat. Then there is a homework here on the exercise one. Exercise 1, create a mini notepad that looks like this. Yeah, you need to rename your files to nrp, your nrp underscore ex1 underscore widget.py. Then there are 3 buttons here: open file, clear, and save files. So open file is for open the txt files from your directory. And for the clear button, it will clear the text inside this text area. And to save the save file, to save the text that is written through the text widget in txt format. So you open the txt files. After you open that files, it will show the text inside your files in this text widget. Then after you clear button, after you press the clear button, it will remove, yeah, the files, the string files, yeah, inside this text widget. But if you press the save file button, it will save these string values into a new files in txt format. And for the exercise 2, create a simple autocomplete entry that looks like this, yeah. So this is the entry widget and this is the list box widget. Then if we write some things or type some things in this entry widget, it will show us, yeah, some item inside this list box, yeah, which contains the character or the letter that we type in this text area or entry widget, I mean PRIG, and then it will show us some of the item in list box widget that contain the proc, the PRON key letter, this item. Okay, that's all for our my video in week 13. Thank you for your attention.